Welcome back to San Antonio. Watch on the left side of your screen. Let's see if Rocco Cerrone, how he hurt that knee. Looked like he just got caught up in the artificial turf.
Dasher's got some room here and had trouble with the turf and dropped the ball.
And this turf hasn't been good for Dasher. We saw the injury early, and now the turf is actually what causes this turnover. Watch him stumble right here, twist his right ankle this time, and the ball just comes out. And, you know, there was no contact there whatsoever. It was just the turf that caused that. And
he's got the first down, got a block too. Dasher tried to cut back to the middle of the field, and he couldn't do it. His legs gave out again, and it's an ankle that he injured earlier in the game that got him.
Wow, this turf has been tough. And watch his ankles. At the end of the play, tries to make that cut again, and that left ankle just turns on him.
That is almost a carbon copy of what happened to him in the first half. Actually, the first one looked a little worse, but it's a similar thing, similar type play. He wasn't tackled on a cut.
Watching it again, comes down and gets tangled up in the other individual, and again his foot stays put, and he goes in.
Watch his left leg just give out on him. Right there, that cut, and I don't like to see that.
Into the nickel. Edelman in motion, 3rd down and 4 for Brady. Hankins a good block right there. This is a first down catch and run by, and he was holding his knee. Welker holding his knee. Welker holding his knee after the 13-yard catch and run. Boy, you just talked about health. They're at the 46-yard line. He held it almost without even being hit.
Oh, there it is right there.
Oh, my gosh.
There it is. And you don't want to speculate as to what that could be, but he clearly jammed it into the turf. He came up holding that left knee. And when we talk about wanting to stay healthy, now this can happen in any game. Hopefully he'll be okay. And now after seeing that, I would expect him to be taken out of today's game and maybe not come back in it, considering how much pain he seems to be in right now.
DeAndre Brown can't come up with it. Good coverage. Chris Bowden at the task of trying to guard Brown, and Brown is hurt. Obvious pain.
Lattimore wrapped up by Lathers, and the ball came out, but they're going to rule Lattimore down, and Lattimore is hurt.
Oh no.
Marcus Lattimore holding his right knee. It was his left knee that he injured last year about this time against Mississippi State. Tore his ACL, missed the rest of the season, then had the hip injury a couple of weeks ago.
Oh no.
The complaint was the injuries. I mean, if you look it up on the internet, in the NFL, NCAA, for city parks everywhere, people were getting injured, and the surface just wasn't made for the real needs of all these people.
Charles is down. He might have hurt his knee. Got that quick little push.
The ligament itself actually ruptures, so when you're running, cutting, and pivoting, and you stop short or change directions, the force that goes through your knee can be a little too much for your ACL to handle, and then at that point is when it tears. It can rip in the middle, or it can rip off from where it's attached to the bone. It can happen just from running and cutting and pivoting, and there doesn't have to be any contact at all. Soccer players, field hockey players.
Look good as briefly goes down. You do not want to see that. Oh my goodness.
She is in a lot of pain right there. Just comes in and gets flipped and kind of goes down on that knee, which you never get to see in women's soccer.
Oh man, that would be just absolutely devastating.
Catch-22 for women. We need to be active for good health, but at the same time, we're up to 8 times more likely than men to suffer an ACL injury.
Many of these injuries occur at the high school or college level. Female athletes have a 4 to 6-fold increased risk for ACL injuries when compared to male athletes. Non-contact mechanisms result in about 70% of all ACL injuries, and they include factors that relate to the female, such as anatomical, neuromuscular, and hormonal.
Well, ACL is the anterior cruciate ligament. That's the main ligament inside the knee that protects against rotational torques on the knee. And girls seem to outnumber boys really 5 to 1 at least. Some say 7 to 1.
Statistics show 1 in 50 high school girls are likely to tear an ACL. By the time they reach college, it's 1 out of every 10.
And there's ACL prevention programs that seem to be popping up all over the country that are targeted towards, young female athletes. They used to target the college or the NCAA athletes, but we found that it was too late. They've already torn their ACLs. And then they took it down to the high school athlete. Again, it might be too late. And then the sports that seem to be the higher risk ACL sports are those the ones that involve a lot of repetitive cutting, pivoting, sudden change of directions with acceleration and deceleration. Most ACL injuries in female athletes nowadays are non-contact. It's a sudden plant, change of direction, and that causes the ACL to pop.